You've been to the doctor. They say everything looks normal, but deep down you know something's off. You're tired all the time. You're bloated. Your moods swing like a pendulum. And no one seems to have real answers. If that sounds like you, stay with me because you're not alone. What you're feeling isn't just aging or stress. It's your hormones. And they're trying to get your attention. That constant fatigue, bloating, or mood swings? It might not be stress. It could be your body screaming for help. Let's talk about 10 hidden signs your hormones are out of whack and how to fix them naturally. Sign number 1. You're exhausted. No matter how much you sleep, even with 8 hours of sleep, you wake up feeling completely drained. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning after a full night's rest and still felt like you hadn't slept at all? As a working woman, I've been there. Tossing and turning all night, hoping that just one good night of sleep will make tomorrow better. But when the alarm goes off, it's like I never went to bed. I started questioning everything. Was it the long hours at work? The late night scrolling? The stress? But then I dug deeper and found out that fatigue like this isn't always just about being busy. It can be hormonal. Low thyroid function. Too much cortisol flooding your system. Even adrenal fatigue from years of pushing too hard. When I realized that everything changed. My body wasn't tired, it was begging for balance. What helped? Cutting caffeine after 2 p.m. and taking magnesium and B6 at night to calm my nervous system helped me to fix this naturally. This is me listening to my body instead of pushing harder. If this sounds like your story, hit the subscribe button now because your hormones deserve a voice, and we're just getting started. Why cut caffeine after 2 p.m.? Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 8 hours, which means drinking it in the afternoon can raise evening cortisol and block melatonin production, disrupting your circadian rhythm and sleep. A study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, 2013, found that consuming caffeine even 6 hours before bedtime significantly reduces sleep time and efficiency. How does caffeine affect the hormones? Poor sleep increases cortisol and insulin resistance, and both sabotage belly fat loss and energy. Why take magnesium and B6 at night? Magnesium regulates the HPA axis, your stress system, reduces cortisol, and improves sleep quality. Vitamin B6 enhances magnesium absorption and supports serotonin and melatonin production, crucial for mood and rest. A randomized trial in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences in 2012 found that magnesium improved sleep quality and reduced cortisol in people with insomnia. B6 has been shown to assist in mood regulation and sleep via its role in serotonin synthesis. It turns out, caffeine can raise your cortisol for hours, and even if you drink it at 2 p.m., it's still in your system by bedtime. Studies show that even a small amount can block melatonin and wreck your sleep rhythm. That's why I cut it off in the afternoon, and the change was immediate. Magnesium and B6? Total game changer. When I added them at night, I didn't just sleep. I recovered. Sign number 2, you bloat after almost every meal. It's not just you. You eat something even healthy, and within 20 minutes, your stomach looks 5 months pregnant. For me, it was the worst after lunch. Salads, smoothies, even grilled chicken. And yet I'd feel like a balloon. I used to think it was food sensitivity, or maybe I was eating too fast. But bloating that consistent? It's not random. It's often your hormones, not your food, that are slowing things down. Here's why. When estrogen and progesterone are imbalanced, especially during perimenopause, they can disrupt gut motility and even change your microbiome. In simple terms, your digestion slows, your body holds onto water, and your belly swells. Sometimes your liver gets overloaded too, especially if it's trying to clear out excess estrogen. And your doctor might just tell you it's IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. But it's more than that. It's a signal your gut and hormones need support. What helped me naturally? What made the biggest difference was prepping my digestion before meals and not after the meals. I started using digestive bitters 10 minutes before eating. I also added lemon water in the morning, not just to hydrate, but to help my liver do its job. And I focused on estrogen-supporting foods like leafy greens, flax seeds, and cruciferous vegetables. Studies show that estrogen dominance slows digestion and can trigger IBS-like symptoms. Supporting your liver equals supporting your hormones. If bloating has been your daily battle, hit subscribe. We're building a community of women who are done with being dismissed and ready to heal. Sign number 3, sudden weight gain, especially around the belly. Let me be honest. There was a time I felt like my body betrayed me. I wasn't eating more. I was actually trying to eat less. But the belly weight just kept piling on, like someone switched my metabolism off overnight. It didn't matter how clean I ate or how many steps I took. I even skipped dinner for weeks. But the scale, still creeping up, especially around my midsection. What I didn't realize at the time is this. Belly fat after 30 is rarely about calories. It's about hormones. Here's what's really going on. After 30, many women become more insulin resistant, especially if they've been under chronic stress. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. When it's too high, your body holds onto fat, especially in the abdomen. And if cortisol is high too, that fat sticks like glue. Here's the kicker: skipping meals or over-restricting can make it worse. Because it raises cortisol, spikes cravings, and slows your metabolism down further. Do you know what helped me naturally? When I stopped dieting and started balancing my blood sugar, things shifted. I began starting my mornings with protein and healthy fats, eggs, avocado, chia pudding. No more sugary cereals or low-fat granola. Just real food that kept my insulin steady. I also swapped intense cardio for gentle strength training 3 times a week, because muscle helps burn more fat naturally. One study in obesity reviews found that managing insulin resistance is critical to reducing abdominal fat in women, even more than total calories consumed. Has your belly felt impossible to lose no matter what you try? Subscribe right now, because next we're getting into the emotional side of hormone imbalance, and it's going to hit sign number 4. You can't handle stress like you used to. It didn't used to be this way. I could juggle 5 things at once, laugh things off, and bounce back fast. But then something changed. Little things started setting me off. Emails. Loud noises. Traffic. Even the smallest interruption at work would feel massive. At first, I blamed burnout. But deep down, I knew it wasn't just being too busy. It was my nervous system on edge, reacting like I was in survival mode 24/7. And that's when I learned about cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. When it's high for too long, it throws everything off. Sleep, mood, metabolism, digestion, and everything. Here's what's really happening. Chronic stress, emotional or physical, pushes your HPA axis, the body's stress control system, into overdrive. This leads to elevated cortisol, which lowers progesterone, throws off estrogen, and makes insulin spike. A full-blown hormone domino effect. You feel anxious, wired but tired, and constantly on edge. Your body is not weak, it's protecting you, but at a cost. Do you know what helped me naturally? I had to stop powering through. I started doing 4-7-8 breathing every morning. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8. It felt silly at first, but it worked. I added magnesium glycinate and a little ashwagandha root extract at night. And most importantly, I protected my sleep like my life depended on it, because honestly it did. Studies show that magnesium can help lower cortisol, and that just 10 minutes of deep breathing can reset your stress response system. If stress has been ruling your life, comment "Calm Reset" below. And subscribe, because no one should have to navigate hormone chaos alone. Sign number 5. You crave sugar or salt constantly. I used to sneak snacks in the afternoon and not even know why. Sometimes it was chocolate. Sometimes salty crisps or chips. And I'd beat myself up afterward thinking, why can't I just have more willpower? But the truth is, it wasn't about willpower. It was my hormones calling for help. Here's what was really happening. Craving sugar often means your blood sugar is unstable, a classic sign of insulin resistance. Craving salt. That can point to low cortisol or adrenal fatigue. Your adrenal glands help regulate stress and electrolyte balance. So when they're overworked, your body literally begs for salty foods to restore what's being lost. And let's not forget, when estrogen and progesterone fluctuate, serotonin dips, which makes you crave sugary comfort foods just to feel normal. So no, you're not broken. You're just chemically imbalanced, and your body is trying to compensate. What helped me naturally? The moment I started balancing my meals with fat, fiber, and protein, everything shifted. No more sugary breakfast. No more hangry crashes at 3 p.m. I also added a pinch of Himalayan pink salt to my morning lemon water. That tiny change made my energy feel more stable, and the salty cravings disappeared almost overnight. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology supports this. Unstable blood sugar and cortisol dysregulation are key drivers of sugar and salt cravings, especially in women under chronic stress. If cravings have been controlling you, give this video a like. And subscribe, because we're not just talking symptoms here, we're taking our power back. If you're finding yourself nodding with every sign, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. I promise the best tips are still coming. Sign number 6. Your periods are heavy, painful, or missing. There was a time I dreaded the calendar. Not because I forgot a birthday, but because my period was coming. Sometimes it would come early. Other times it would vanish for weeks. When it did show up, it brought pain, clots, mood swings, and exhaustion. And I thought, is this just what being a woman means? That's what most doctors told me. Take a painkiller. Try birth control. It's just part of life. But what if it's not just normal? What if it's your body waving a bright red hormonal flag? See what's really going on. Painful or missing periods often point to estrogen dominance or low progesterone. Sometimes it's tied to an underactive thyroid, or PCOS, or even insulin resistance. Heavy bleeding can also mean your liver isn't clearing out estrogen properly, which causes a buildup and throws your cycle completely off. These are not just period problems. They're hormone imbalances. And they're treatable. What helped me naturally? The first thing I did was ditch plastic water bottles, food containers, anything that could leak xenoestrogens into my system. I swapped scented products and toxic beauty brands for clean ones. Then I added zinc, vitamin B6, and maca root powder, all known to support progesterone and hormonal balance. I also focused on foods that support liver detox, like cruciferous vegetables and dandelion tea. Multiple studies, including an environmental health perspective, show that endocrine-disrupting chemicals, EDCs, found in plastics and fragrances, can mimic estrogen and wreak havoc on your natural cycle. If your period's been a mystery, a monster, or missing, drop A in the comments. And subscribe, because understanding your hormones should never be a luxury. Sign number 7, you're always cold. Even in summer. I remember sitting in a warm room while everyone else was sweating. Me. I had a blanket on. Socks, too. My hands were freezing. My feet felt numb. And I thought, maybe I just have poor circulation. But it wasn't just that. It was a deeper issue, one I had never even thought to check. My thyroid. Here's what was really going on. When your thyroid is underactive, your metabolism slows down. Your body doesn't produce enough heat. Blood flow reduces, especially to your hands and feet. And it doesn't stop there. You might also feel tired, gain weight, have dry skin, or even feel low emotionally. These are all signs of hypothyroidism, which is often underdiagnosed in women, especially after 30. Low thyroid function is often connected to low iron, selenium, iodine, and vitamin D. It also worsens with chronic stress and high cortisol. Can I tell you what helped me naturally? The first thing I did was get a full thyroid panel, not just TSH, but T3, T4, and antibodies. Then I started eating selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts. Just 2 a day can make a difference. I also added iodine-rich seaweed snacks and upped my iron through lentils and leafy greens. But the biggest shift? Supporting my nervous system. Because when cortisol drops, your thyroid can finally breathe. Research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that stress and low selenium levels can significantly impair thyroid hormone production, especially in women during perimenopause and postpartum phases. Cold hands, tired eyes, slow days? It might not be just the weather. Hit subscribe because your thyroid deserves more than silence. Sign number 8, you can't sleep through the night. For the longest time, I thought I had insomnia. I'd fall asleep just fine, but then suddenly wake up eyes wide open at 2 or 3 a.m. No noise. No nightmare. Just a jolt. And the worst part? I couldn't fall back asleep. My mind would start racing. I'd stare at the ceiling, begging my body to rest. It felt like my brain and body were no longer speaking the same language. What I didn't know then is that this wasn't just insomnia. It was my hormones and blood sugar crashing in the night. Do you know what's really going on? When your blood sugar dips too low overnight, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline to bring it back up. This survival response literally wakes you up. And if your cortisol rhythm is off, maybe from stress, overtraining, undereating, or inflammation, your body doesn't know how to shut down and stay asleep. Also, progesterone, which has a calming effect on the brain, often drops during perimenopause, making deep sleep even harder to reach. So if you're wide awake at 2 a.m., it's not just your mind. It's your metabolism and hormones misfiring. What helped me naturally? I started eating a protein-rich evening snack like Greek yogurt with chia seeds or almond butter on oatcakes to keep blood sugar stable overnight. I also added magnesium glycinate and L-theanine before bed to calm my nervous system. I take 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate and 100 milligrams of L-theanine about 45 minutes before bed. It helps me wind down, quiet my thoughts, and finally sleep through the night no more. 2 a.m. wake-ups. Always consult with a healthcare provider if you're on medications, pregnant, or have medical conditions. Avoid taking them with caffeine, alcohol, or large meals close to bedtime. Be consistent. Routine improves results. And I shut off screens an hour before sleep because blue light spikes cortisol, and I needed my melatonin to work. Research published in Sleep Medicine Reviews confirms that cortisol dysregulation and nighttime blood sugar dips are major contributors to middle-of-the-night awakenings, especially in women over 35. If 2 a.m. has become your new wake-up time, hit like and drop a below. And don't forget to subscribe because sleep is your superpower, and we're here to protect it. Sign number 9. Your hair is thinning or falling out. I used to run my fingers through my hair, only to feel it getting thinner. The strands in the shower. The clogged brush. It felt like my hair was slowly disappearing, and so was my confidence. People would say, "It's just stress," or worse, "Maybe you're just getting older." But I knew something deeper was going on. Hair doesn't fall out without a reason. And in many cases, that reason is hormonal. What's really going on? Hair loss in women is often linked to 3 major hormonal imbalances. Low thyroid function slows hair growth and weakens follicles. Low estrogen or progesterone, especially around perimenopause. High androgens, like DHT, which shrink hair follicles over time. Add in stress, nutrient deficiencies, and blood sugar imbalances, and your scalp becomes a battlefield. This isn't just cosmetic, it's a sign that your body is under pressure. Do you know what helped me naturally? I started by checking my thyroid, iron, and vitamin D levels, all essential for hair growth. Then I added biotin, zinc, and omega-3s nutrients proven to strengthen follicles. I also ditched toxic shampoos filled with sulfates and focused on scalp massage to improve blood flow. But more than that, I worked on calming my stress response. Because no supplement in the world can fix hair loss if cortisol is high and nutrients are low. A study in the Journal of Dermatology found that hormone-related hair loss in women can be slowed or reversed by correcting thyroid issues, balancing androgens, and addressing nutrient gaps. If you've cried over the hair in your brush, you're not alone. Subscribe now because real healing starts at the root. Don't stop here. Subscribe and join thousands of women resetting their hormones and reclaiming their energy. One video at a time. Sign number 10. You feel off, but labs say you're fine. This one is the most frustrating of them all. You go to the doctor. They run tests. They smile and say, everything looks normal. Of course, the hospital policy will not allow any medical advice, but you don't feel normal. You feel tired, bloated, irritable, disconnected from your own body. And you start to question yourself. Am I overreacting? Is this just in my head? Let me tell you, you're not crazy. You're not broken. And it's not just stress. What's really going on? Most conventional blood tests check for broad, normal ranges, but not optimal levels for you. You might have low progesterone, high estrogen, borderline thyroid, or insulin resistance and still be told you're fine. But your symptoms are data. And just because it's not on paper, doesn't mean it's not real. Hormones are subtle. They shift monthly, weekly, even daily. And often the body screams before labs catch up. What helped me naturally? I started tracking my symptoms, not just test results. Mood changes. Sleep quality. Bloating. Energy levels. Period patterns. Then I began to support my body gently, not punish it. Cycle syncing. Nutrient-dense meals. Stress management. Clean beauty. And slowly, I started to feel like me again. Studies show that symptom-based hormone assessment, when paired with nutrition and lifestyle, can be just as powerful as labs in early detection and correction of imbalances. Your intuition matters. Your body whispers before it screams. You just have to listen and honor what it's telling you. If you've ever been told everything is normal but felt like your body was falling apart, comment below. I know my body. I trust her. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a sister who's tired of being dismissed, because your healing journey is just beginning. You're not broken. You're not crazy. And it's not just stress. These hidden signs are real and they're reversible.